Welcome back to Automate M365. In this video, we'll dive into the Get Items action in Power Automate. First, I'll explain what it is and how it works. Then, we'll go through a practical example where a Microsoft form submission triggers a flow. We use Get Items to find the right record in a SharePoint list, and finally update that record. What Get Items is and does. The Get Items action is used to pull data from a SharePoint list. Think of it as opening a list and letting your flow look through all the rows. But Get Items is not just about fetching everything. It's often used when the trigger, like a form submission, gives you some information, and you need to find the matching item in SharePoint. So, Get Items acts like the connector between the trigger and the action that comes after. You ask Power Automate, from this list, find me the item that matches the information I just got. Once you have it, you can do anything you need: update the item, send an email, create a PDF, move a file, or even create new items in SharePoint or Excel. In the example we'll see, we connect the ID from the Microsoft form with the ID of the SharePoint list, as indicated by the arrow. This ensures the flow updates exactly the item that matches the form submission. Practical example: Forms Get Items update SharePoint. Step 1. Forms Trigger. We start with Microsoft Forms. The flow is triggered when a new response is submitted. Step 2. Get Response Details. Next, we add Get Response Details to capture the answers from the form. This allows us to use dynamic content from the form in the next steps. Step 3. Get Items from SharePoint. Now we add the Get Items action. We don't want all projects, just the one that matches the form submission. So we add a filter query like this: ID Form ID. Here's the important part: the ID on the left is the SharePoint list ID, which you have to type manually. It won't show up in dynamic content. The ID on the right comes from the form, and you can use dynamic content here because it comes from the Get Response Details action. This tells Power Automate exactly which item in the list we want to work with. Step 4. Apply to each. Get Items always returns an array, even if there's only one matching item. That's why the result is wrapped in an Apply to Each loop. Inside this loop, we now have access to the correct project item. Step 5. Update Item. Finally, we use the Update Item action. We select the projects list again, use the ID from Get Items, and update fields such as status with the value from the form. End result. Now, whenever someone submits the form, the flow finds the matching project in SharePoint and updates it automatically. This shows how Get Items links the trigger, in this case, the Microsoft form, with the source, the SharePoint list, so that the flow can take the correct action. Outro. And that's the Get Items action in Power Automate. It's not just about fetching data, it's the bridge that connects your trigger to the exact item you want to work with. If this video helped, make sure to like and subscribe to Automate M365. In the next video, we'll explore the Compose action. Compose stores or transforms data in your flow so you can reuse it later. Compose can split multiple IDs delimited by, for example, commas into single ID numbers, which can be processed one by one.